Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? One being people go, all right, well, this is just acceptance. This is what I deserve. This is what I'll continue to have. Sans a rock bottom, potentially, right? And the other being like, I'm gonna destroy myself. I deserve this. I'm a piece of
Mm.
shit. How do you step through that space?
Oh, that's such a good nuanced question. I've never heard anyone ask it quite like that before. Because you're totally right. I think, as the high achiever, we're so good at polarizing things and either going this way or the other way, right? So I really believe it's about finding that middle balance. I mean, the reason intimate relationships are so hard for, people like me is we feel safe in our professional life because that's where we've established our authority, but we don't feel safe with this relationship stuff because it's totally new to us. But when it comes to taking responsibility and not having it go, go through this downward spiral. Uh, Now, one half, I think it's really important to be in a community or work with someone that can show you what it's like on the other side. Because how do if I've never seen what a healthy relationship looks like, I have no point of reference to even get there. So, whether it's therapy or working with a coach or even reading a book, I think having some sort of external guidance is always very helpful when you're going somewhere that you've never been to before. But combining that radical responsibility with compassion and self compassion, I think is the sweet spot. So it's not only this, "Oh, it's all my fault," right? Like, I made all these choices, like, I'm the toxic one, but we have to pair that with the understanding of why we have made those choices. I wasn't a bad person for choosing these people. It was because that's all I've ever known. I didn't know any better. I thought I was dating people that on paper would have been good matches for me, but I was not in connection with my body. I didn't know what my type should be based on my attachment style, right? And so I was just repeating wounds. And so when we do make mistakes, I think it's super important to take responsibility for our own actions, but also pair that with that unconditional self compassion as well, so that we're not just beating ourselves up.
How much of, especially in the context of high achievers, how much is failure in these intimate relationships in conjunction with the need to have massive control?
Oh my gosh, huge. Huge, right? And the control piece is probably why these relationships are not working out. We're our hustle game is good, right? We got to where we are by working hard and pushing forward. But working hard and pushing forward in intimate relationships, doesn't quite work the same way because it opens up our blind spots. It opens up our vulnerability. And so, what happens when we try to control the outcome of a relationship? Usually nothing good comes of it, right? The other person feels like we're trying to control them. They feel like we've got this hidden agenda, like we're trying to speed things up to get that commitment or to move things forward. So yeah, it really is about finding ways of letting go of that control, but still feeling safe in a relationship setting. It is a bit of an art.
Yeah. So how do you do that?
Yeah. So, well, there are different philosophies out there around dating. With my work, I focus more on that trauma informed approach. And what that really looks like is building that foundation of safety within yourself so that you're not looking for it in other people. That's where I think a lot of folks get tripped up on is they look to relationships as a way to fill this gaping void in their lives, right? It's almost like they're trying to make up for mommy or daddy not being there. They're looking at relationships as this external source of validation. But the thing is, relationships can never rescue you from what kind of life you have now. Relationships are just like money. They simply magnify what's already here, right? And it's the same thing how money won't solve your problems. It will simply amplify and magnify what you already have. Same thing with relationships. And so if you don't feel internally sound, if you don't have this sense of overflow and abundance, just between you and your inner child, you as a person, then you're not going to be coming at relationships from the right place, from the right energy. And that's when the controlling aspects really start to come out. And so that's where I start first is getting you to the place where you're going to relationships for the right reasons so that there is no need for control. A lot of people think with relationship coaching that it's all about finding the one, right? Gloria, I'm going to give you this money. Go and find me my husband or my wife, and that's it. But that's completely missing the point. It's almost like, in business coaching, if someone just helps you build one business and then that's it, like what happens when it goes to shit, right? Most of us move through multiple businesses throughout our lives, but we're actually helping you change the place that you operate from. So it's not just about one relationship and putting your entire, hopes, hinging your entire life on one person, but it's that you can get to the point where it just feels easy for you. If this one doesn't work out, no problem. I've done it before. I know how to create another healthy relationship again. And the next one will be better. And the next one will be even better until I eventually get it right. Same thing with career and business, right? It's not about finding the one and putting all of our eggs and hopes on that one thing, but knowing that we are safe in having all different kinds of relationships, because the happiness at the most core sense comes from you. No one else can feel happy for you except for you. And so we really try to have you approach things from the right reason so that you're set for life.